Hello, this is Lazarus at telecomTech, where telecom and networking technologies are simply explained. Today we'll be simply explaining the native VLAN. The native VLAN is a concept that is associated with trunk ports or trunk links on switches. When you configure a trunk on a switch, you must define the native VLAN on that trunk. This is typically VLAN 1 by default on most vendors, but it can be modified. What is the native VLAN? Other than ensuring it's the same on both ends of a trunk link when you configure it, what is it for and why does it even exist? To answer this question, let's review how trunk ports work. When a frame is sent over a trunk port, a VLAN tag or an 802.1q tag is added to the Ethernet header, specifying, among other things, to which VLAN that frame belongs. So the receiving trunk port always expects a VLAN tag on the incoming frame, which indicates how it should forward the frame. What happens if a frame arrives on the trunk port without a VLAN tag? What will it do? Well, the switch will place that frame on the native VLAN. So the native VLAN's most fundamental purpose simply specifies on which VLAN an untagged frame should be placed. Now, why is that necessary? Well, there are several reasons. First of all, by default, a trunk that sends a frame belonging to its native VLAN will send it untagged. That means that on this link here, if VLAN 99 is the native VLAN, a frame from VLAN 99 sent out of this trunk will be untagged. The receiving switch is also configured with VLAN 99 as the native VLAN, so it will place that untagged frame onto VLAN 99. But even so, why even configure a native VLAN? Why not tag all frames and be done with it? Well, you must provision for the case where an untagged frame will arrive. Under what circumstances may that happen? Well, take a look at this. Now, this here is a hub. Just to be clear, this is a very bad network design, but it is a scenario where an untagged frame can enter a trunk port. Any communication from this host will result in untagged frames reaching these two trunk ports. Those ports will place those frames on the native VLAN. Now, this is a very extreme example, and in today's networks we don't use hubs anymore, and you would hopefully never see such an arrangement on a modern network. The truth is, however, that in the past, many switches didn't support trunks, so backward compatibility was important. Today, this backward compatibility is less important, but other reasons still make the native VLAN an important part of trunk configuration. Now, before I continue, I'd just like to say that this video is sponsored by XOP Networks, provider of emergency communications phone systems for airports, power plants, and disaster relief organizations. Learn more at www.everythingoverpackets.com. Now, some layer 2 control plane protocols, such as DTP, STP, and CDP, require the use of the native VLAN over trunks. Trunks will typically send such control plane information as untagged frames over the trunk, so the native VLANs must be configured appropriately to ensure proper communication for those protocols. In addition, if the native VLAN is misconfigured, an attacker can use that to perform what is known as VLAN hopping, where they can gain access to a VLAN other than the one their device is connected to. Now, if you try to configure a trunk with different native VLANs on each end, you will find that this results in an error message at the very least. A syslog message will appear on the CLI of the configured switches, indicating a native VLAN mismatch. The trunk may still function, but that syslog message will continue to appear. So the native VLAN is configured for backward compatibility for older systems, to accommodate control plane protocols, and to ensure security is employed appropriately. Well, that's it for the native VLAN. If you like my teaching style so far and these are topics that you're interested in, check out my Mastering VLANs and Trunking course on my website. It goes into much more detail than this YouTube playlist and includes labs, configurations, PDF notes, quizzes, and a final exam, all of which will help you to master the concepts of Layer 2 switching. You can find it at my website at www.telecomtech.io. You can click on the link in the description below for more information. More courses on additional topics are also coming soon. Check it out and join my newsletter there to be the first to know about new content, along with some exclusive offers along the way. I'm Lazarus at telecomTech. I hope this has been helpful for you, and I'd like to thank you for watching.